My name is Eduardo Jesus Salman Castellano. I'm an undergraduate student in teaching English as a foreign language at UNAT in Cartagena. And I'm going to speak a little bit about the lesson plan I prepared. The topic of this lesson plan is Tour of London. It is designed for 7th grade in Columbia schools. And the main aim is to develop students' listening and speaking skills, and also build on students' cultural knowledge. Specific objectives. In this lesson, students will practice vocabulary of famous places in London, listen to a light-hearted recording of a guided tour on an open-top bus in London, check their comprehension, and then do a speaking activity based on the listening. The material we're going to use are a website. The name of the website is learningenglish.british council.org/skills/listening-practice/tour-london. And then we have two worksheets and a dictionary, Spanish English dictionary. Well, the first section is warm up. In this warm up, I'm going to start writing the word London on the board. And I'm going to ask students to tell me what they know about this city. I'm going to ask questions like, have you been to London before? Do you know any famous places in London? And I'm going to explain that I'm going to say the first part of a famous place in London, and they're going to try to complete the name of that place. And then put students into teams and ask for hands up to complete the names and give a point for each correct answer. And I'm gonna use places like Big Ben, London Eye, Tower London, Tower Bridge, Buckingham Palace, Houses of Parliament, Oxford Street, Madame Tussauds, and then give help if necessary. For example, I'm gonna ask questions like, is it Big Bog or Big Ben? And after that, I'm going to hand out the worksheet or display the preparation task to the class and ask students to work in pairs to match the places' names and the pictures of famous places. Also, I'm going to ask students how tourists usually visit these famous places. For example, do you go by train, taxi, or a tour bus? And point out the open top bus in the preparation task and ask who usually talks to the tourists about the famous places during a tour bus. And then display the image of a London bus tour from the link that I already mentioned. Then we continue with the presentation. Well, the warm-up, the duration of the warm-up is between 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, sorry, between 10 to 15 minutes. And then we have the preparation or presentation. In this presentation, I'm going to tell the students that they are going to listen to a guided tour on a bus in London. And they need to look at the check your understanding regarding task either on the worksheet or online and put the places in the order that the tourist bus will visit them. Then I'm going to play the audio and students are going to compare answers before checking and correcting as a class. If necessary, I play the video again. And this section of lasts between 5 to 10 minutes, this presentation. Then we continue with the third part, which is practice. And this practice lasts 5 minutes. And in this practice, students now look at the check your understanding multiple choice task on the worksheet or website and then I play the audio again, and students select the correct answers. The production, the duration of the production is between 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm going to ask students what the weather was like on the tour, for example. I'm going to expect their answer and write the following words on the board: history, umbrellas, famous people, the Queen, shopping, and money. And students copy the list. Then I'm going to tell the students that now they are going to listen carefully to the tourist rather than the tour guide and play the audio a last time. And students now must underline the topics that the tourist mentions. For example, in this case, umbrellas, the queen, and money. And I'm going to ask a question finally. Can you remember the actual question that the tourist asked to be a last question? Then I continue with the assessment. After the practice section, students are going to compare in pairs before checking answer as a class. This is kind of a peer assessment. This is going to last about 5 minutes. And also while they are doing the consolidation exercise, I'm going to make notes of any common errors and good pronunciation or good language for class feedback at the end of the class. And then the assignment. In the assignment, I'm going to ask the students which places tourists can visit in their city, town, or village. And they could choose a capital city with world famous places or just the local area. And then I'm going to compile the list on the board, let a volunteer write and the others dictate. Then I'm going to tell the class to imagine that they are on a guided tour visiting the places listed on the board. And some people are tour guides and others are tourists. First, they need to do some preparation, and after that, I'm going to ask for volunteers, maybe 4 students in a class of 16 or 8 in a class of 32 to be tour guides. The rest of the class are tourists. Yeah, and then I'm going to give the appropriate part of the role play worksheet to the students, and the tour guides prepare their speeches in pairs or small groups, and the tourists prepare their questions in small groups. And then I'm going to encourage tourists to prepare lots of questions because they want to practice their English. If tour guides finish their preparation quickly, I'm going to ask them to memorize their speech and monitor the groups and how where necessary. Then I'm going to set a time limit for preparation. Well, this preparation, the duration of this section is about 10 to 15 minutes. After the assessment, we have the consolidation. In the consolidation, I'm going to put students in small groups with one tour guide and several tourists to act out the role play, following instructions on their handout. And then I'm going to arrange chairs and rows like bus seats if possible, and invite groups to perform the role play to the class. Um, for example, I could try to uh, um, arrange the students in a way that is going to be easier. Maybe assign each person a letter A, B, C, or D, and then ask for a show of hands up to tell if they were paying attention. And then ask all A's to sit or stand together, and all B's to sit or stand together in another section. And then the observations. I'm going to make notes, like I said before, of any common errors and good language or pronunciation for class feedback at the end of the lesson, and then I'm going to try to help them finally. Well, thank you for listening. That's it.